It began on an ordinary morning. I stood on the porch, coffee in hand, wearing slippers, when I witnessed an HOA officer draw a taser and shoot it at my wife. Yes, my actual wife. Unbeknownst to them, she's a former Special Forces operative, and her old squad was already in position, laser sights locked on the officer's chest. Tara had anticipated it all. She let the scene unfold because she doesn't blink at overzealous HOA wannabe cops who fancy themselves tactical masterminds. Me? I flinched big time. 1 second, we were debating if we had enough charcoal for the weekend barbecue. The next, she was sprawled on the driveway, a guy in a knockoff sheriff's vest yelling into a walkie-talkie like he was storming a battlefield. We'd settled into Oak Ridge Estates 6 months prior. The brochure touted peace, security, and family values. In reality, it was a neighborhood under the iron fist of a militant HOA with grandiose notions of power. Every house was identical. Lawns were clipped like Marine haircuts, and God forbid you rolled out your trash bins a second too soon. Tara found it amusing. The HOA's rulebook dwarfed her old deployment manual, but she played along for the sake of a quiet life, good schools, and no thumping EDM from neighbors at midnight. Our first run-in, her matte black military Jeep. She parked it just over the driveway line, barely grazing the grass. The next day, we received a violation notice that looked like it was issued by NORAD. I chuckled. Tara didn't. She scanned it, then tucked it into a folder labeled Oak Ridge Nonsense. The HOA president, Marissa, yes, that's her actual name, ran the show like a pastel-clad autocrat. Clipboard always in hand, cycling through sweaters. She wore a constant frown for Tara, claiming Tara exuded aggressive energy and masculine intimidation. Tara just grinned, said, "Nice story," and went back to tweaking her Jeep's suspension. That earned us weekly inspections and citations for combat vehicle disturbance. The real chaos kicked off when the HOA launched the Oak Ridge Civil Enforcement Division. Picture 5 guys who looked like they flunked mall cop tryouts, decked out in camo pants and black polos with fake badges proclaiming code enforcer and safety lead. They carried oversized flashlights, clipboards, and pepper spray. I once caught one practicing baton twirls in the cul-de-sac, like he was prepping for a SWAT gig. Tara watched them with the serene curiosity of someone who'd once bartered with a cartel boss, using just a translator and a wristwatch. She started taking longer strolls, asking subtle questions, running cables through the attic. When I asked what she was up to, she said, "Just observing. They're not ready yet." I didn't push. When Tara's observing, you let her observe. Meanwhile, these faux officers got bolder. They mounted cameras on stop signs, fined kids for sidewalk chalk, and cited an elderly lady for rebellious garden gnomes. One gnome was flipping the bird. They treated it like a federal offense. Then I spotted one peering into our window. Tara didn't yell. She calmly asked if he wanted to pit his pepper spray against someone who'd been tear-gassed 3 times before breakfast. He bolted. We threw a 4th of July barbecue. Burgers, beers, neighborhood venting. Tara parked her Jeep right by the HOA's sign. Predictably, the enforcement squad rolled up, tactical vests and citation pads at the ready. One wore a body cam, narrating like he was raiding a fortress. Tara stood quietly by the Jeep. They issued a warning. She said, "Feel free to try." Then one drew a taser and fired. Tara hit the ground. I froze. Red laser dots bloomed across their bodies. Her team had them pinned from hedges, rooftops, the alley. The taser guy's smirk vanished. Tara cracked one eye open and said, "I've always wanted to know what it's like to be zapped by an amateur." She'd been documenting everything. The HOA didn't relent. They rolled out new rules targeting military vehicles and aggressive displays, clearly aimed at her Jeep. They rebranded their goon squad the Neighborhood Stabilization Task Force. Tara laughed, adding the notice to her now-tabbed binder. Violations, bogus citations, privacy breaches, and my favorite, non-compliant wind chime frequency. She didn't confront them. She took longer jogs, scouted, collected footage and stories from neighbors. Turns out, everyone was fed up. Fines for improper tarp tension, reflective dog collars, you name it. They sent Tara videos, and her war room expanded. Her team assisted quietly. No weapons, just vigilance and awareness. Cameras went up, all legal, in public spaces only. The HOA's thugs ramped up. Random visits, measuring lawns with tape, drones buzzing backyards. Tara kept recording, building her case. Marissa strutted like a queen, but the neighborhood was simmering. Then came the sidewalk chalk incident. Kids drew rainbows and unicorns. Marissa slapped their families with $100 fines. The next HOA meeting was a zoo, furious parents yelling, refusing to back down. Tara sat in the back, quiet, clutching her folder. The next morning, another Jeep citation, presence of warlike aesthetic. Tara smiled and said, "It's time." That evening, at another barbecue, she parked the Jeep under the HOA's sign, flag in the windshield. The same officer appeared. One read a warning aloud. Tara replied, "Which part, the freedom or the horsepower?" Sunglasses guy, the leader, pulled his taser again. She stepped in front of the Jeep and said, "You'll have to go through me." He fired. Tara dropped, but it was deliberate. Red laser dots reappeared. Her old team stepped out, calm, professional. Tara rolled over and said, "You need to work on your aim." She stood, yanked off the taser wires, and was handed a folder. She addressed the neighbors. Everything's documented. Body cams, drones, witnesses, it's all submitted. A man in a suit stepped forward. "Agent Carter, DOJ Office of Civil Enforcement. We've been watching Oak Ridge since February. Today seals it." The taser cop was cuffed. Another protested, only to be reminded that impersonating law enforcement is a felony. Then Marissa swept in, flanked by board members. Agent Carter said, "You greenlit the task force. You're liable for their actions." She scoffed, claiming it was private business. Carter shot back, "Your charter lapsed 16 months ago. You've collected $100,000 in illegal fines. That's not private, that's federal." She paled. Tara handed over more documents, emails, notes, proof of fraud and overreach. "You're under investigation for fraud, harassment, and potential RICO violations," Carter said. Marissa was led away. No pastel cardigan could soften that blow. By nightfall, silence fell. Neighbors whispered in awe. Tom, from across the street, choked up, thanking Tara. He thought he'd have to sell his Mustang to cover HOA fines. The HOA was done. A week later, Oak Ridge's HOA was dissolved, fines voided, the task force disbanded. Tara deleted her files and went back to jogging like nothing happened. At the next emergency meeting, someone nominated her for HOA president. She accepted with a shrug. Her first move? Shred the rulebook. Her second? Ban citations, fines, and vested patrols. The community will run on respect, transparency, and trust, she declared. As we left, she glanced back at the crowd and said, "Oh, and if anyone spots a clipboard labeled Civil Enforcement Division, chuck it in the nearest fire pit." The laughter was real. Tara wasn't just my wife. She was a quiet hurricane, the patient unraveling of tyranny. When push came to Tace, she didn't push back. She dismantled the entire system. The lesson? Abused power breeds its own downfall. True strength doesn't flex. It observes, waits, and strikes with precision. Respect, not fear, builds real leadership. If you enjoyed this tale, Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with family and friends. Thank you.